Hi there. What can I call you today?
You can call me Meisha. That's my name, and it's what I go by. I'm here and ready to help you with whatever you need today. What's on your mind?
Okay, great, Maisha. I've got an interview in 5 minutes. Can you hype me up? But make it in a few sentences, like three to four.
It's actually Meisha, but I'm fired up to help you out. You've got this interview in the bag because you're prepared, you're capable, and you're walking in there as exactly who they need to meet. Show them your confidence, answer honestly, and let your personality shine through. Now go out there and absolutely nail it. This is a real-time AI talking head. It answers out loud, it lip syncs as it speaks, and it runs on one ordinary GPU. Nothing here is pre-rendered. The reply is composed and spoken at the same time. And it was built for one reason, to help people get ready for the interviews that scare them. Let me show you. Think about interview tools for a second. Almost every one of them is built for the people doing the hiring, screening resumes, scoring candidates, filtering people out. Hardly anyone builds for the person actually sweating on the other side of the table. This was built for that person. A patient, tireless interviewer that asks real questions, listens to your real answer out loud, and tells you honestly how you did. And for that to help, it can't feel like a chatbot. Practice only works when it feels like a real conversation. The moment there's lag or dead air, the spell breaks, you stop rehearsing and start waiting. So everything that follows, all of the engineering, exists for one thing, to make it feel real enough that you'd actually practice on it.
That last part, making it feel real, is the whole reason this was so hard. Okay, Maisha, give me a tough behavioral interview question.
It's Meisha, but I've got a tough one for you. Tell me about a time when you had to work with someone you really didn't get along with, or who had a completely different work style than yours. How did you handle the conflict? What did you learn, and how did it turn out?
Okay, how should I answer that?
Great question. Here's how to approach it. First, pick a real situation from your past where you actually faced this challenge. Be specific about what the conflict was and why the person's style clashed with yours. Then explain the actual steps you took to work through it, whether that was having a conversation with them, finding common ground, adjusting your own approach, or involving a manager if needed. The key is to show that you didn't just complain or avoid the person, but that you took action to make things work. Then talk about what you learned from the experience and how it made you a better team player or communicator. End on a positive note that shows growth. They're not looking for perfection here. They're looking for maturity, self-awareness, and the ability to handle real workplace challenges like an adult. Pick something genuine, be honest, and show them you can turn a difficult situation into a learning opportunity. From the outside, it looks simple. It is not. Four things all have to be true at the same time, and any one of them breaks the illusion. One, latency is the entire product. A 3-second pause isn't a talking head, it's a loading screen with a face. Two, the audio and the video have to agree, frame for frame. People catch lip sync drift instantly. You felt it watching a badly dubbed movie. Three, it has to stream, not pre-render. Generate the whole answer, render a video, then play it, and you've added back every second of delay you were trying to kill. And four, it has to survive the real world. Dropped connections, you stopping at mid-sentence, a flaky network. Fast, perfectly in sync, streamed live, and resilient all at once. That's the job.
Honestly, number one nearly broke me.
Getting there took a lot of nights. Early on, the face moved like it was underwater, lips drifting in slow motion. Hunting it down took the better part of a day. The fix was a single line. Then there was the bug where the face would load and just idle, the live stream never reaching the screen, which turned out not to be a code bug at all, but a networking quirk. And under real use, With more than one person at once, it started turning people away for no reason, a resource leak that's invisible with one user and obvious with two. The deepest problem was keeping the audio and the video locked together over a conversation that can run any length. That one was the hardest part of the whole project. And about that last part, how the sound and the mouth stay perfectly together, that stays in the garage. You get the what, not the recipe.
That sync trick is the one thing that I'm keeping it to myself, and I'd rather be honest about holding it back than fake a reveal.
At a high level, it's two halves. On one side, the expensive GPU work. On the other, everything web and real time. Keeping them separate means the GPU only ever does GPU work, and everything else runs cheap, which is what lets a single consumer card serve more than one person at a time. From the outside, the properties are simple. It streams the answer as it's composed. It runs multiple people on one GPU. It shows live captions. You can talk to it. You can interrupt it mid-sentence, and it remembers the conversation. That's the shape. The wiring stays mine.
Maisha, walk me through how to answer. Tell me about yourself.
It's Meisha, but absolutely. Let me walk you through this. Start with a brief professional summary of who you are and what you do. You might say something like, I'm a detail-oriented project manager with 5 years of experience in tech.
Okay. Just give me the first line.
Okay, here's a strong opening line. I'm a passionate professional with 5 years of experience in my field, and I've consistently delivered results by solving complex problems and leading successful projects. Now go crush that interview. Where does it go from here? 3 things: sharper, more lifelike faces, a clean, properly licensed lip sync path so this can be a real product and not just a demo, and the one that actually matters, the feedback. Right now it asks and it listens. The real value is when it scores you, tells you that you said 14 times, rewrites a rambling answer into a tight one. The talking head is the hook. The honest feedback is the point. This is still a prototype. It's rough in places. But it already does the thing nobody else built. It practices with you.
Well, it's early, but the bones are real. I have explained enough. I'll let it tell you the rest.
The Midnight Project, Building an AI Talking Head. Part 1, The Obsession, begins. It started on a Tuesday night when I couldn't sleep. I'd seen a dozen AI avatar demos, and every one of them had the same flaw. You'd type something and then you'd wait. A pause just long enough to kill the magic, and then a pre-rendered clip would play back at you. It felt like a slideshow with a voice. I wanted something else entirely. I wanted a face that talked back in real time, the way a person does. Most people would have called that a pipe dream, but I'm not most people. My apartment became command central. Pizza boxes piled up. My cat learned to navigate around the machine humming in the corner. I called it the project, with the reverence other people save for religious relics. Part 2, The Foundation. The first real breakthrough wasn't a model, it was an idea. Everyone else was generating the whole answer, then the whole voice, then the whole video, and only then pressing play. Of course it felt slow, so I flipped it. What if nothing waited for anything? What if the moment the first words existed, they were already being spoken, already moving a face, already streaming to the screen, while the rest of the thought was still forming behind them? I stopped thinking in finished files and started thinking in flows. And the day I measured it, the first sound came back in about 170 milliseconds. Not a pause, not a beat of dead air. It just answered. I sat there and made it talk to me for an hour, grinning like an idiot. Part 3, The Sync Problem. Then came the part that nearly broke me. The voice and the face were 2 different streams, made by 2 different things, racing each other across the network and meeting in the browser. And human beings are merciless about lip sync. A few tens of milliseconds of drift and it stops looking like talking and starts looking like a badly dubbed movie. It wasn't a fixed clip I could line up in an editor afterward. It was open-ended live, never the same length twice. Getting those 2 streams to agree, frame for frame, sentence after sentence, for as long as the conversation lasted, was the single hardest thing in the whole project. And I'm not going to tell you how I did it. That part stays in the garage. But the night the mouth finally locked to the words and stayed locked, I knew I had something real. Part 4, Surviving the Real World. A demo that works once on your machine is a toy. I wanted something that held up. So I taught it to recover. Connections drop and it reconnects. Someone hits stop in the middle of a sentence and starts a new one, and it lets go cleanly and begins again. I made it serve more than one person at once without buying a rack of data center cards, because I was stubborn about running the whole thing on a single ordinary GPU. Cheap to run wasn't a compromise, it was the point. Then I gave people 2 more ways in. I let the head wear captions, the spoken words appearing in step with the voice, so it works even on a muted screen. And I let them talk to it out loud instead of typing, holding a key to speak the way they would with a real person. Part 5, what it's actually for. 6 months in, I stopped chasing pixels and asked the harder question. Not how real can the face look, but what is this for? The voice lands in under 1/5 of a second. The lip-synced face follows in under 2. It listens, it answers, and it runs on hardware you could buy at a normal store. That combination is rare, and it kept pointing me somewhere specific. Almost everyone builds interview tools for the people doing the hiring. Hardly anyone builds for the person sweating on the other side of the table. So that's where I aimed it. A patient, tireless interviewer that asks real questions, listens to the real answer, and tells you honestly how you did. The talking head was always the hook. The thing that actually helps someone, that was the project all along. And the future rolled forward, uncertain as ever. But I wasn't building a slideshow with a voice anymore. I was building something that talked back.